Hi, Deirdre here, just going to show you how to do the food stock pivot tables. So the first thing you need to make sure you do is select a single cell within that area. Okay, so this is the table area. It's got a blank row above it, so this isn't part of it. There's a blank row here with nothing on it, so this is the table. From here across, all of this is a table. Okay, now so we just select a single cell here and we go to Insert, Pivot Table. Okay, it automatically puts the dancing ants around it. We're happy with that. It's going to put it into a new worksheet, so it'll create a new worksheet. We're happy with that, and we'll go okay. Okay, so it's putting it onto sheet 1. Okay, so that's fine. We now need to decide what it is we're going to try and do. So let's go to the answers sheet. So this is the original food stock sheet here. Sheet 1 is the one we've just created, and answers is where we are. So we have the answers. This is what we're trying to achieve. So if you, for example, click outside, you have nothing over here. If I click onto the answers, I can see over here, this is what we need to do. So we need to have stock held euros, and stock held quantity is over here, is in the values area. And in the rows area, we have category. And in the columns area, we have values. Okay, so that's grand. Okay, so let's go back over to our sheet 1 and do that. Okay, so we put in stock held euro, stock held quantity, category we need to have in as rows, and values goes in automatically up here. So that's the first question done. We're happy with that. That's great. So let's take a look at what we need to do next. Let's go to the answer sheet. And you can see in here is what we need to do next. So the next thing we need to do is we need to sort it by sum of stock held in euros, going from largest to smallest. So let's go back to our sheet 1, which we're working on. Stock held in euros, going from smallest to largest. Right mouse click over here and sort largest to smallest. And you can see it's now held beautifully. The next thing it asks us to do is to create a pivot chart. Okay, so we click on Insert and go to Pivot Chart. We accept everything and click on OK. And that's inserted a chart. We'll just move the chart out of the way so we can see things. So we drag it out of the way here. The next thing we need to do is adding type down underneath category as a row. So over here, we're going to put type in. Down under here, over here, we're going to put it in underneath category and let go, and you can see it's adding it. Don't worry that your chart has gone funny, that's fine. We don't really care about that at the moment. We're just carrying on with the exercise. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to remove category. So we click and drag it out over here, and we now just have type. Okay, and this time we're going to put in category as a filter. Okay, so click and drag category in here into the filter area. It was in rows and it's now going into filter. And here you can see it's up here, and you can see you've got your filter in here. We're then going to add it in as a slicer. And so make sure you're on the pivot table analyze tab up here. So click on that one up here. Click, oh yeah, pivot table. Okay, you're on the pivot table analyze sheet up here, and then we'll click on Insert Slicer. Okay, and we're going to put in category as a slicer and click on OK. And as we know, having it up here as a filter and having it as a slicer, they work in exactly the same way. They really have the same function. Okay, the next thing the task asks us to do, number 8, it asks us then move back to the food stock sheet and create a totally new pivot table. So we're going back to the food stock sheet and we have a single cell selected, and then we go to Insert Pivot Table. That's fine and OK. It's now called sheet 2. So sheet 2 is the new one. So what we need to do is we need to create, let's take a look at the answers that we need to do. Number 8, we'll scroll down onto the answers sheet just to see what it is we're wanting to do. Here's number 8. This is number 8. We need to have category in over here as rows. Monday and Tuesday stock quantity is what we want. Okay, so let's go to sheet 2. Category in as rows. Monday, stock quantity Monday, stock quantity Tuesday. Go in underneath, and we've got this one over here. We need to get the Wednesday quantity in. Oh, sorry, I didn't quite go in. Wednesday quantity in, click and drag. Thursday quantity in, down in underneath. And then Friday quantity in down the bottom. Okay, and so all of these are in, and you could click and drag them in and make them a little bit smaller if you needed to. Point number 9 is asking us to put type in as a filter. So let's go back up the top here, and type goes in as a filter, and you can see up here type is put in as a filter, and then put in type as a slicer. So pivot table analyze and insert slicer and choose type and OK. And you can see this is your slicer over here. And it then asks us to create a pivot chart. So we go to insert and pivot chart. We're happy with that and OK. And then it asks us to add category slicer and display just meat and fish. Okay, so we're going to add in a slicer, pivot chart analyze, insert slicer, category and OK. And then all we want is what do we want? Meat and fish. So we click on meat, and then to be able to select more than one, you click on this button up here, and that allows you to select 2 items at once. And now you can see we're looking at just meat and fish. And then if we want to make it a stacked chart, we click up here and we can make it a stacked chart. Okay, that's us done.